Should be the last day of Final Fantasy 16. It just depends on how much more they're gonna throw at me. Yeah, I'm gonna try and spend a good 10 hours today on good old Final Fantasy. So it looks like there's still a lot of room. I have a feeling a lot of the wall of memories is also going to be like maybe some endgame stuff. Oh no, depends on how this game ends. Like, there's a lot of things that we don't have. If we are nearing the end of the game, then it does make me wonder. Oh yeah, can we pet the owl? Never actually noticed the owls there.
It will take time to come to terms with everything that happened in the Dominion. But time is the one thing we always seem to lack.
Time. Oh. What a mess. This is from Theodore. Cursebreaker intelligence. Yeah, what is the realm kind of doing now that there's no more mother crystals? A crimson caravan. I think all the leaderships have fallen too, if I'm correct. I don't think there is any more leadership in the whole entire realm. I'm trying to think. Oh, well, no, we still got the guy that, you know, the one king dude, King Barnabas or something like that, that also is known as Odin. I think he's the only one kind of like remaining human-wise. Then we have, of course, still Ultima and whatever is Ultima's, you know, yeah. I think those are the only threats that I can think of that is still around. About the sky.
Fran about us, guys. Unless that is... So, what'll it be?
What will we have? Whoa, that's better in, it's better in, Excalibur. Brightburn. I guess I'll take it.
Could last you a good while.
Diamond armlet. Doesn't do as good. Well, it does better in defense, but not as good as in the HP department. I don't think there's anything I can improve either.
Anything else?
So that's Brightburn. Doesn't look too bad. Still prefer Excalibur. Excalibur's look is just so much better.
Thanks for not leaving me in the Dominion. If you hadn't come back, I might still be stuck there. I told Nan we flew back on the Phoenix, but she walloped me for telling fibs. Can you tell her it was the truth, Clive?
If the game allows me.
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there.
About
Stock up while you can.
about the skies.
The whole realm's in chaos. But as the old saying goes,
Still committed. Diamond sword. I was kind of wondering if she had a better version. It doesn't seem like it. As I said, does she have a better version of there's an amulet that I have that needs upgrading, but I guess there might not be an upgrade for it yet. Let's get one of
I'll find
those.
a better price than that.
Kind of slightly top it off, but not really. Still don't know what this is. I wonder if this is New Game Plus. That's where I was like, I wonder what that is. It's activate New Game Plus.
Seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
So Twilight is being played. Let's see. I guess I should update. Oh, there's more monsters. Looks like everyone has it. Let's update our lore.
Is a storm coming soon?
Will there be thunder?
Good morrow to you, my friend.
Ask about the skies.
With the darkening skies, but be that as it may,
I have a feeling some bad shit's about to happen, though. Try and enjoy this moment while we have.
new notes that might interest you.
Level 5.
I have quite the find for you today.
Let's see. What is that? Help versus.
Hey.
What are the maxes?
If you have a question for me, I should be happy to answer it.
Because that's almost full. That's almost full. These are almost full. I have a feeling this is almost like kind of like your progress to 100%ing certain things.
Did you learn everything you needed?
Not too sure though. I mean, if that's the fucking case, we're almost done with this game. If that's my indication. But I expect some long ass cutscenes and everything. I expect an hour-long cutscene or two.
Did you see that?
Says what? Does Hideo Kojima worked on this game?
Clive, allow me to educate you. Here's the latest information I have.
So many people have died. We're good on our department though. A lion, like none of these people have died. And we got the occasional person that passed. No, it's only one person. Wait, who's this dude? Oh, okay, he's the boat dude. Yeah, there are still some people. Like in the Iron Kingdom, there's Marley that's still alive. Then we have, I'm guessing, Chief Strategist and a Republican Prime Minister still alive in the Republic. Kingdom of Waled. Yeah, this is the one kingdom that I haven't really actually tackled. Technically, because Odin's the last dude. But, oh wait. They don't have him grayed out? Dion died, didn't he? Why isn't he grayed out? It's a little weird. Oh yeah, we don't really... Yeah, he's sending commands to Odin, which is interesting. And he's trying to punish... kind of like change Clive, which is really odd. Reunited. Yeah, I'm wondering what her story is. Like, what the fuck? First encounter. She seems to be like almost like a squire in a way. She's just mainly helping Joshua in his quest for the truth. Then there's you got people over here, medicine girl, which is interesting. They showed this medicine girl like 2 or 3 times now, and I have a feeling does she have a bigger part in the picture? It's like she's on the grid.
Study it well, Clive.
Yes, we got all that going on that I guess currently is happening. Oh no, Waloed. That's how you pronounce it. Waloed. No, Waloed. Waloed is the thing. Look at all these locations. So much information. Jesus. Wait, Drake's eye was over here. Wait, did we not? I thought we did take out Drake's eye, right? Because they were saying like, oh, there's no more mother crystals or anything like that. Yeah. Huh. There's like 3 more monsters. Well, no, that one's already taken care of. Yeah, 3 more monsters. Oh, alright, so we got a heavy dude there. And we got 3 people there. 3 heavies. Oh, there's an S tier right there. Ooh, Dread Dragon. Interesting. Ruined, we awaken.
Clive!
I have a feeling there's at least 3 side missions in... Oh, this place. Isn't it? Live and let live. Bear... None of them are important. So I'm probably just gonna... I'm gonna just chill on those.
Can help.
How may I help you today, Clive? Your benefactors are a generous lot.
Oh, hi. Hey, there's a cleric's medallion.
All yours.
I think I found my upgrade.
Come again. I may have more for you.
Because that's the medallion I was thinking about upgrading. Because let's see. Yeah, I'm still on the basic cleric's medallion. So... yeah, instead of... I guess that's the only upgrade for it, to be honest. Because if you look at the percentages... increases healing potential... potency of potions by 20. And the next one is just 25%. But 25% will make a huge difference. I do say so myself. Not like, that just makes it broken even more, damn. It's like, when we do heal, even with a regular potion, it practically heals us most of the way. It's like, holy shit, we don't take too much damage in this game. And, there are some enemies, at least the poison dudes, that do sustaining damage.
Otto, how fares the realm?
The realm? Oh, she's just fine. As long as you look past the fat storms out mother crystals and her skies are a roiling cesspit.
And Gav?
He's with your uncle in the Free Cities, helping Mid with her project. Sent an owl their way the moment the winds turned foul. Still waiting on a reply, though.
Do you have any good news?
Well, that depends on your definition of good.
All right, fine.
Progress.
What do you suggest we do?
Oh, no, I'm just a messenger. I leave the scheming to those more suited to the task. Could be that Lady Vivian and Old Tomes have their own thoughts on the current state of things. Could be that they don't. It certainly can't hurt to ask.
I suppose not.
Yes, I'll talk to them. Speak to Anna, let's speak to Vivian. And then Hippocrates.
How is it that every one of your little excursions presages some inexplicable catastrophe? Not that you are to blame for the Dominion's fate. No one could have predicted the actions of the Crown Prince.
I'm sorry I couldn't save your home.
My countrymen are stronger than you think. A few toppled clock towers won't break their spirits. They'll be back on their feet in no time.
I hope so.
Look at us. Bluer than a pair of bog crabs. Tempting though it may be, sulking will not help us find a solution to this mess.
You believe there's one to be found?
I don't know. But I am certain we're more likely to find it if we first examine the facts.
It has a good head on her shoulders. Alright, let's see what the state of it is. State of it
Beneath
is.
these darkened skies, fear and confusion reign over Valisthea. Oh, the
There is
lands
one
around
more.
the fallen mother crystals had already begun to wilt for want of ether. But not like this.
I thought we took them all out. I guess we didn't.
Crystals that filled wells and fueled furnaces. Now nothing but pretty shards of rock. And those that hang from the people's necks cast nary a glimmer of light to keep the dark at bay. It is only a matter of time before the common folk convince themselves that the end of days is upon us. Yet I fear a swift end is more than we can hope for. While most of the world thirsts for ether, the remainder drowns in it, spawning Akashic in droves. And amidst the hordes of mindless beasts, with magics as like to fail as function, even the strongest nation would falter. Rosaria and the Iron Kingdom teeter on the brink of collapse, while the tragedy in Twinside has all but paralyzed the Holy Empire. Dalmekia fares little better. Rumor has it the ministers fled the capital after the fall of Drake's Fang, leaving their beloved republic to crumble.
Of course they would.
Lud, meanwhile, moves in earnest. The Einherjar has been sighted off storm. The world, in short, is in chaos. It would seem our civilization was nothing but a castle of sand, to be washed away at the whim of the waves.
A castle of sand.
Not my best flourish, but it seemed fitting. The reports I've received are considerably more blunt in their appraisal. Without the protection of their nations, it will fall to the people to defend themselves against those who would take what is theirs.
Which is only ever going to end one way.
Defending a farmhouse against a band of chocobo thieves is one thing, but pitchforks and palisades will do little to stall an army's advance. Should the King of Waloed deign to invade, there would be none to stop him.
None but us.
Yep. Gotta worry about that one. Which it looks like Barnabas is gonna be doing something real soon. Something very dirty, too. He's already done some pretty fucked up things, especially with that one girl's head. It's like, okay, this guy's, did some dirty deeds.
There's a storm coming soon.
Yes, yes, yes.
Let me guess. You're here about the skies.
Is there anything you don't know, Lawsman?
It doesn't take a court astrologer to augur the obvious. As for what has disturbed the heavens, that, I believe, is a question the Fallen might be better placed to answer than I. And on the 6th day did the gods tear the sun from the firmament, visiting darkness upon their prideful sons and daughters. But I dare say you remember your childhood lessons on the sins of Zemeckis only too well.
You think they're connected? That Ultima was one of the gods responsible?
Well, he has certainly exhibited powers that we mortals would associate with the divine.
There is nothing divine about him.
But he wouldn't be the first god of whom that could be said, now would he? Yet for all the fairy tales that tell of the sins, there is almost nothing in the way of actual historical accounts. Had I the Journal of Moss the Chronicler, I may have been able to tell you more, but alas, I fear all remaining copies have been lost to time. You will forgive me, I hope?
Certainly not. Because there is nothing to forgive. Even without this journal, you've provided us ample wisdom. And we will always be grateful for it. Perhaps Otto will be more inclined to share his thoughts when he hears what the others had to say.
Alright. Boom, 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 boom.
Clive, we have a problem.
Only one. That would be a first.
It would. Actually, there are three.
Of
We
course.
had as many owls arrive while you were at the shelves. Martha's got a cashier at her gates, and talk of monsters roaming the hills outside of Northreach has put the wind up Isabel and her lot.
And don't forget Dalimil. Lubor says the village was raided by bandits.
When it rains...
It fucking
Fucking
pours.
pours. The curse breakers are spread thin, taking stock of the damage in the Dominion. And even if I could get word to all of them, I doubt they'd get here in time to make any real difference. Which means there's only two people who can.
Jill and I.
Let them know we're on our way.
Seems like me and Otto are like twinsies. Okay, looks like I'm gonna go off and aid some of these problems. Oh yeah, speaking of problems, guess we'll hit up the closest people first. I'll probably go from south and then go clockwise. First things first though, how many points do I have? Not enough points to put anything into. Did I check out this ability? Okay, it's that. So it's the sustaining. It does a shit ton of damage. Only if you can sustain that attack on them. As an enemy that moves around and all, it probably is. Probably not the best. That does good sustaining stun. There's a little bit of good damage there. That's pretty decent too. Looks like it's good for stun as well. And then that looks like a kind of like a hover. All right. So I need about minimum of 2,000 to upgrade that. Then I'll need 2,300 for this. Almost 4,000. 2,400. Man. So the upgrade for that is even larger. It's a larger radius. Probably does even more damage. That'd be fucking crazy. Alright. Let's help these guys out. Let's help our allies. Ooh, what the fuck happened here? I guess we'll find out. Are they the ones having raider problems?
Sid, your new companion appears much more formidable than your uncle. Should I be worried?
You haven't been introduced.
Jill, Clive has told me much about you.
All lies, I'm sure.
Your Stolas said that Dalimil has a bandit problem.
Indeed. Although you're a little late. They left with our food and guild days ago.
Any idea where they went?
The desert's a big place. Your guess is as good as mine. But the fact is, I have more immediate concerns.
What did you say to me? What did you say?
Ah, as if by magic. Let's just say we've yet to reach a consensus about how to solve Dalimil's little problem. And at this rate, it won't be the actions of the bandits which prove to be our undoing. It will be our own. I've tried reasoning with the dissenting parties, but even the Desert Hare has limits.
Perhaps we could talk to them.
What makes you think they'll listen to us?
What makes you think they won't?
She makes a fair point, Sid. And you won't have wasted much of your precious time if you fail. They're just across the courtyard.
Let's tackle that then.
Suppose we just follow the shouting.
Looks like everyone in the whole entire realm is on edge.
You wouldn't talk like that if it had been your men whose throats were slit. Blood for blood, it's the only way. We hire mercenaries and have them mount the bandits' heads on our walls as a lesson to the rest.
And what happens when those mercenaries are slaughtered like your men? Are you going to hire more? We're better off using that coin to buy food and supplies. If we hire mercenaries, the only thing we're buying is the bandits' ire. And you cannot fill empty bellies with that. Do you hear me?
But what happens when they come back? Maybe it'll be your throat that's slit.
That's enough. Both of you. Any more of this and I'll throw you out myself. Come back when you're ready to talk like adults.
Victor. What's he doing here?
Sid. And Lady Jill. What brings you here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Costness is in chaos, and the markets have all but ceased to operate. The Briar's Kiss here in Dalamil is the only place I can reliably obtain supplies. I was here to do just that when Master Lubor told me of his troubles. He thought I might be able to talk some sense into these fools. But if you're here, I suppose his patience must be waning.
Who are those people?
Those were the thorns in Lubor's side. And the reason this place might be headed the same way as Costness. It's these accursed skies. The darkness is enough to drive a man to madness. Or an entire city, for that matter.
We're still working on the skies. But in the meantime, perhaps we can find a solution to Dalamil's problems.
I hope so. For all our sakes.
That was one thing in like Final Fantasy 15 they didn't really get into too much, is like how are people's sanities in years and years of darkness? Because in Final Fantasy 15 they had it worse. It was like, whew, they had years of darkness.
So, you see my predicament?
What I saw was a room full of people who were angry and afraid. And with good reason by the sound of it. But if left to smolder, that anger and fear could set the entire town alight.
My thoughts exactly. What to do? Both sides wish to protect their homes and livelihoods, if only they could agree on how.
Send me to wipe out the bandits.
We are vulnerable.
And if there's one thing bandits like, it's an easy target.
Mm-hmm.
What would Sid the Outlaw suggest?
Wipe the bandits out.
Well, if it were my namesake, he'd let them choose for themselves and be on hand to pick up the pieces when it all went wrong.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
A recipe for disaster is precisely what it is. But perhaps that realization would be enough to make them question the ingredients. While it's plain neither Conrad nor Natalie will countenance the other's proposal, it may still be possible to make them doubt their own. before presenting them with a third option.
And that would be?
To pool our resources and save the city ourselves. Why fight each other?
When all that fear and anger can be directed at the bandits.
It appears we have a plan of action. Victor, pay Conrad a visit. See if you can't convince him of his folly. I'll speak with Natalie.
As you wish.
Your faces are not well known in this town. That may prove useful. Don't worry, Victor and I will do most of the talking. You need only play along.
Play along?
What he means to say is yes.
Alright. So I guess we need to start doing some more things. Let's see.
Picture it, Conrad. Your own city guard. With you as captain.
Me? I don't know about that.
Ah, here she is. The Lady of the Spear herself. Conrad, may I introduce you to Jane, commander of the Red Wings, the oldest mercenary guild in the Free Cities.
A pleasure, my lady.
The pleasure is all mine.
As I told you, I summoned the commander here from Canver to inquire about a contract.
Victor says you told him no. That there aren't any men left to hire. Is that true?
True as the crystals cracked. Nobles came and claimed every last one worth his salt. And not just from us Red Wings. You know of the 7 high houses. There must be 2 score swords assigned each one. Granted, we have a few boys left. If it's boys you're looking for.
Well, Conrad, are you saying that Dalamil's finest cannot defend this town better than a gaggle of unblooded striplings? That a band of beardless youths could better avenge the deaths of your brave men than you yourselves?
Absolutely not. We'll show those bastards who they're dealing with.
Reverse psychology. Good thing.
I can't believe that actually worked.
Conrad's not what you call the brightest candle in the crypt. And there's a reason why I had you do the talking and not Sid. Well played, my lady.
Smart man. Alright, that's one.
If you're wondering why Dalamil's in such a sorry state, you can blame the bandits. Them and the mercenaries who are guarding the gates. Though I can hardly fault them for running. Fighting would have meant death. Did for more than a few.
My shop? Why would anyone do such a thing?
They took all our meat.
If I had my pickaxe, I would.
I mean, it may still be possible to buy something, and we may yet be allowed to keep it.
Yes, but...
Here he is now. Natalie, allow me to introduce Lord Underhill of Randalar's prestigious League of Merchants.
Lord Underhill. At your service.
Underhill?
I was just telling the good lady of our conversation, my lord, and how you were lamenting the state of the capital's stores.
Lubor says that not only are the granaries almost empty, but that war and the blight mean this season's harvest won't be enough to fill them for winter.
Indeed, certainly that is the case. The nobles in the capital are buying up the city's stocks of barley and wine, driving the prices higher than most commoners can afford. It is only a matter of time before the peasants revolt.
It is worse than I thought. If what Lord Underhill says is true, I fear we have little hope of supplementing our stores, meager though they regrettably are. And while I applaud your endeavors to dissuade our more bellicose citizens from seeking vengeance, I sense Conrad is not wrong in his assessment of the bandits' likely return. Which means that now, more than ever, we will need to secure what little we still have. Food, weapons, herbs, everything. If our humble town is to endure not only this hardship, but those that are certain to follow, we must stand united.
All right. If it will help to protect my home, I'll do it. But you needn't have gone through this charade.
Just saw through it.
Thank you, Clive. Your performance was nothing if not workmanlike.
She saw right through it.
I didn't say it was good, merely that it produced the desired effect. Now, my scouts should be returning shortly. Meet me back at the Briar's Kiss, and we shall see what we face.
I'm not convinced our roles in this ruse were entirely necessary.
I wasn't.
Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
Mummy, I'm scared.
Well, you can still send me out there to do some damage to the bandits.
Good news, Sid. Both Conrad and Natalie have somewhat gracefully accepted their new roles. With time, they may even learn to.
Time no longer appears to be the luxury it was before lunch.
I take it your scouts found the bandits.
Technically, it would be the bandits who found my scouts. It appears they march for Dalamil as we speak.
Oh, good then.
All of them.
You're not serious.
They don't just want food, they want the whole damn town.
I have a favor to ask.
Kill them all.
I'm told the bandits march in two groups, one from the south and one from the desert, in a move doubtless intended to stretch our already gossamer-thin defenses.
Very well. Jill and I will meet those from the desert. But what of the rest?
The rest, my friend, the city shall fight. Together. The stakes, I concede, are high. But if this does not unite Dalamil, nothing will.
That is a lot of faith to put into those who had their hands around each other's throats but a moment ago.
Then it will be for us to see that their hands are kept occupied. And I do mean us.
I thought you might say that.
You have an armory.
For as long as we can.
And we will do the same.
It's like that is a thing. It's like if they have a whole entire armory, might as well use it. Okay. Oh, damn. They were closer than I thought.
I'll take that one.
I think those guys are dead. Where's that magic user? I think that's... No, it's not him. Magic user's probably dead. Alright. Ow. Assault. Oh, what the hell? Why am I stunned? Oh no, 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 no.
I needed that.
That was not fun.
It's all ready. I'll be fine now. To me, boy. You're a fine hound.
Boom.
Nice try.
Ow. Overkill.
The townspeople. Could they have held out?
Hopefully.
I don't hear any fighting. What do you think?
That we should hurry.
Natalie, I owe you an apology. You did well out there. The inn would have been lost had you not held the line.
Without you, there would have been no line to hold. You saved us, Conrad. You saved Dalamil.
We all saved Dalamil.
Conrad seems to have had a change of heart.
I'd say they both have.
I take it from your presence that our visitors from the desert won't be joining us either. Pity.
The plan worked, Sid. Granted, it only took an army of bloodthirsty bandits at our gate.
Calm now, Victor. Why quibble over the details? We are united, and that is all that matters. As for you, Sid, you fight considerably better than you act.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Boom. Plenty of AP on. Alright, that should be good on their part. Uh-oh. Why are we glowing like that? Wonder if it's a status effect going on. Alright, now that we're done that, let's go over here. Martha's Rest. Martha's Rest. Oh boy.
The Akashic attacked us out of the blue, and there's no telling when they might be back. You best keep that sword handy, Sid.
This man's gonna die if we don't get him to a healer.
Martha, it's good to see you.
And you, Clive. Jill?
Otto said you'd been attacked by Akashic. What exactly happened here?
Those skies are what happened. Not long after they fell dark, we had our first visit. There were hundreds of them. Tried to storm the hill. Only a handful made it up here, but that was more than enough. The rest are still down there now. And while we have a few willing fighters holding them back, they're sorely outnumbered.
What do you think, Clive?
That we join the fight.
I thought you'd never offer. Now, where I need you is the Fallen Gate. That's where the fighting is fiercest. Let the men know you've come to help. Something tells me they'll be pleased to see you.
We're on our way.
Prioritize that son of a bitch.
Isn't there as many as Martha says?
More. Okie dokie. Let's get on going.
You don't think they've abandoned us, do you?
Them not. Not a chance.
It better not. Wherever you're talking about. Ooh.
Clive, wounded.
Oh shit.
We deal with the Akashic first.
Alright, here we go.
Give me thunder!
Do 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 do. Oh. Boop, 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 boop. Beep, 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 beep. Alright, cleared that wave. Aw, man, I didn't hit anything. Recluse, ew. But that's not all.
These men don't have the look of hired swords.
If you've come to rob this place,
You are mistaken, my Lord Rosfield. We're here by Madame Martha's leave.
how do you know my name?
Forgive me, my lord. There wasn't time for introductions. We're with the Guardians of the Flame.
Wade's men? But how did you come to be here? Where is your commander?
Sir Wade left earlier with a scouting party to find out where the Akashic were coming from.
Did he? Take your wounded back to the inn. Martha will see you're looked after. We'll join you anon.
And to think you took them for thieves. A fine reward for holding off the horde, that is.
When did Wade and his men arrive?
Not long after Rosalith fell. The Guardians asked me to shelter some of them that had lost their homes. They were making ready to leave just as the skies turned, and we agreed it was best we stuck together.
Martha! Trouble! The scouting party's almost at the lift, but they got a pack of Akashic snapping at their heels! And they've got wounded with them! They're not gonna make it!
Damn it all.
We'll worry about them, Martha.
You look after everyone here. If any can still fight, send them to the lift.
I will. You two be safe now.
Alright, let's do our job. I'll pick up the pace, Clive.
Mad dogs. The law.
All right. save all these dudes.
Squire, I need you to get those who can still walk up the lift to Martha's.
Wade.
But what about... I didn't ask, Oscar. Sir.
Sir Wade.
Lord Rossfield. If you aren't a sight for sore eyes.
Martha seemed to think you might need some help. And by the looks of it...
We thought we could sneak by them. But we didn't know there would be so many. How could we have?
Behind you!
Oh, wait.
Damn it!
Turtle dudes.
To get the injured to safety.
Do you think we can hold them off?
We can certainly try. Are you with us, Sir Wade?
Always.
Every day.
Then let's do our duty.
Alright, this should be interesting. Whoa! Oh, shit. That was something I was not expecting. I have a feeling the turtle's gonna be the one you need to look out for. Oh, and you can hardly stun that son of a bitch. Okay. Seems like he's gonna be more of a problem, I think. Damn. It's my first time fighting this guy. There we go. Is it standing up? What?
Kill! I'm hurt, Torkel. Help me, boy.
One, someone's dead. Ooh, nice. Guess that's the only one that we actually had to take down. Big torch dude. Oh. Guess someone's outside.
I don't think so.
And yet again, you've pulled me from the flames. It's just a pity I keep walking into them.
You've never been one to shy away from danger, Sir Wade. Like any shield worthy of the name.
I see you're all in one piece.
Martha!
Is something wrong?
The lookout saw smoke coming from down Eastpool way. Too thick to be a hearth.
A second horde.
Feel like finishing the job.
Always.
Jill and I will make for Eastpool. You'll need to move the injured without us.
Don't you worry about them.
The moment my men are safe, I'll follow. Good luck.
Eastpool. Let's I think we're good on stuff for now. I just kind of notice how like active the stones are. It's a little wild.
Just patch me up as quick as you...
Well, oh, snap. Mandrakes.
Headed for the rest.
We have to slow them down. Martha and the others won't be ready.
Well, most of them are pretty much dead. Oh no! Chocobos! Okay, that's not working.
Something's coming.
Oh. Uh-oh. That's not good.
Apologies, my lord. Did I miss anything?
Only the first round, so wait. Shall we?
Onwards and upwards. Oh, snap. Ravage.
Nice try.
Dang it.
Too slow. Nice try.
There we go. Can't see his attacks, but do something about it. And a finish you. Alright.
Do you see any more?
No. I think that was the last of them.
But it won't be long before the next lot arrive.
Then we make for Martha's while we can.
I wonder if these are the possible doings of like Barnabas and Ultima.
What did you find out there?
The same as Sir Wade. Scores of Akashic.
Well, wherever they came from, they're gone now. Our lookouts say the lowlands are clear. Hopefully we'll have enough time to lick our wounds.
How many of your men were injured?
A damn sight less than if you hadn't turned up. Thank you.
It was a hard-fought victory. But as long as the skies remain dark, I fear the Akashic